Bowtie Guy 85 here, and today I would like to continue my discussion on fashion faux pas in menswear. First, I would like to discuss dress shirts. There are 4 things in particular I'm going to be discussing that are considered faux pas, especially in terms of office wear. And the first of these things is guys who leave their collar undone, but wear their tie up and try to act like their collar is buttoned when it isn't. Now, I'm not talking about like a loose collar, loose tie. That's fine if it's after work, you're going out for a drink or something, you want a more relaxed look. That's, something different. I'm talking about you have some kind of office dress code that requires, shirt and tie. They'll draw their tie up to the top, but they won't button the top button. And think, that we don't know any better. I have good eyes. I can see that. It's very obvious. You can tell that the color points aren't exactly all the way together. What's the problem with this look is it does a few things. One, it makes it look like it just kind of gives you a bit of an immature look because it's showing like you're bothered to wear the tie. And it's like, if you're a grown adult, you shouldn't be doing things like this. And if you have problems wearing ties for work or buttoning your collars, then don't go into a line of work that's going to require you to dress up. It's that simple. And here are a few examples of what I'm talking about. Next, I would like to talk about not buttoning your shirt cuffs. Now, if you're rolling your sleeves up or, again, going for some kind of more casual look, that's different, and I understand that. What I'm talking about is when guys wear their sleeves down as if they're going for a more formal, dressy look, but they don't button their cuffs. They leave their cuffs unbuttoned. Or if they're wearing a suit and they leave it undone, it's just not a good look. It just looks unfinished. You look like you've rushed out the door and you haven't had time to finish getting ready, or you just don't care about how you look. Some issues for this, and I've touched on this in my sizing video. If guys' shirt sleeves are too long or they're too short, it can be hard to button, and sometimes they'll just leave it go instead of finding shirts that are the correct size. I've seen guys, if their sleeves are too long, they'll kind of turn it over a little bit, but they can't button it, or if the sleeve comes up to here and it can't be fastened. That's something we want to avoid. Again, it just shows a lack of self-respect when you don't take the time to properly execute your work attire. And here are a few examples of unbuttoned cuffs. Next, I would like to talk about not tucking your shirts in. Now, I'm specifically referring to wearing a suit with an untucked shirt. Now, here's the thing. If you're wearing like jeans or you're wearing some more casual slacks and a casual button-up, and you want to do like a more casual look, untucked, roll-up sleeves, that's fine. I understand that. Now, one thing about that, though, is you want to make sure your shirt has does not have much of a tail to it. This look really goes wrong if the shirt tail hangs closer to the crotch area or even lower, or if your shirt is kind of baggy on the sides. It's not a really good look, and it helps to tuck it in because it's going to give you more of a neater appearance. Now, there are a few retailers that offer different shirt options that have less of a tail to it and are meant to be worn untucked. Not that I condone or am telling you to start wearing your shirts untucked, but if that is something you're into, that is a way to go. Now, if you're wearing a suit, or I've even seen this with tuxedos before, you need to tuck in your shirt. You need to have on a belt or braces or something holding your pants up. Otherwise, it's just an unfinished look. It's very sloppish looking. It's very sophomoric. It's just not a good look, especially in the workplace. It shows a big lack of self-respect and a lack of respect for your coworkers and your superiors. It's just not a good look at all. And here are just a few examples of untucked shirts. Now the last thing I want to touch on in terms of dress shirts is wearing ties with short sleeve shirts. And there's a few exceptions to this. If you're from somewhere like the Bahamas or somewhere around the equator where it's a very warm, very humid climate, there are some exceptions to that because people, they don't want to overheat. And, I get that. And there's even, places in Arizona and Florida and where it's more common, and that that's kind of not what I'm talking about here. Also, if it's some kind of uniform, if it's a police uniform or like a flight attendant, something like that, where your company requires you to wear things a certain way, that's excused as well. That's really not what I'm referring to here. Basically, what I mean in terms of wearing ties with short sleeve dress shirts is just guys who are trying to skirt the line, guys who have issues with dressing up and are trying to fudge the rules or find loopholes that allow them to be less dressed up. It especially bothers me with suits, because guys, they'll throw on a jacket and they'll think, you can't see that I'm not wearing long sleeves, ha ha ha. Well, that's not true. If you're sitting and your arms are at a certain height, or if you're standing even, or you talk with hand gestures, I don't know if you can see here now, my sleeves are showing very prominently, but you can also sort of see up my jacket sleeve. And here's the thing. If I'm looking at somebody, I can see up their sleeve. I can see that there's no cuff. And even if the cuff's too short, you're eventually going to see it. So that's kind of more of a slap in the face than just wearing the ties with the short sleeve shirts. It just bothers me. It's, again, kind of an immature, kind of sophomorish look. It just, to me, I get the impression of somebody who is dressed up because they have to be, and dress shirts are a chore for them. So to alleviate some of that, they're going to wear a short sleeve. The other thing is, which kind of touches back to what I said earlier about opposite magnets and how they push off each other. Short sleeve shirts, to me, even dress shirts, are more casual. And again, the neckwear is a formal accessory in a way. So the two just don't work for me. The thing with short sleeve dress shirts, with any garment really, when you start to take away from the garment becomes more casual. So not having a sleeve that comes all the way to the wrist turns the shirt into a more casual direction. And even if it's like a plain white dress shirt or something meant to look like proper office wear, not having the sleeve here just takes it in another direction, and then trying to dress it up with a tie just kind of magnifies the whole situation. And it's just not a good look. And here are just a few examples of ties with short sleeve shirts. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, that wraps up our discussion on faux pas in menswear. If you have any that I have not mentioned, please leave them in the comment section. I would love to hear from you guys. Or if you have any thoughts on the faux pas that I have mentioned myself, I would also be interested to hear from you. And as always, please like and subscribe at the bottom. And until next time, this is Bowtie Guy 5 signing off.